Thanks very much, Nick. And in fact, it is going to be Leighton Kendall off the front row with Corbin Anderson, and then 69A off the front row with him. Then we go back to the second row. It's going to be the 73 M2 of Carlos Stone with Bo Padgett in the 37M on the outside of him. Then out of grid position number 5 is going to be the 86A2 of Adam Davis. Then across from him is going to be Sam Committee in the 9A2. Bruce James for HLR Racing in the 17A2 will be starting out of grid position number 7 with Devon George in the 22A2 out of 8. Darryl Webster in the 83A2 will be out of 9 with Michael Stock in the 81M2 out of 10. Scott Ferguson, 21A2, he'll be out of 11 with Matt Heim in the 23M2 out of 12. And that's all the grids that we've got so far. And then a little bit further back will be the 82M2, the 73A2, and the 12A2. So that's the 3 rookies here in the F2 category here tonight. And while we've got a chance as well, as Nick Brown and I like to do, we always like to pick a winner and a wild card of our feature races. So, Nick Brown, who's your pick on this one?
Who's my pick on this one? Well, you'd be mad to not give Corbin Anderson a chance on this one, would you? Because he always has a certain way of getting out there and around there. But I also noticed the number 9 looked quite nice out there, so that's going to be my wild card as number 9.
There you go. So given the performance of Sam Committee in the 9 at Waikaraka Park, geez, that's I don't know, that's almost a rough wild card. He's a front runner. I'm going to go... That made you feel bad then, I'm going to go, starting off the front row, I'm going to pick Leighton Kendall, and I'm going to go my wild card because he's a good buddy of mine. He's got a sensational, fresh-looking helmet tonight. He hasn't had the best run, but Matt Heim in the IQ components, number 23, is my wild card.
All right, then we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, thanks for the rough wild card on there. But hey, look, everyone's got a chance out there. And what we know from the last time we saw a feature racing at Waikaraka Park, these F2s are bullets. And honestly, when we got down to the final lap, there was what? 6 cars that could have made it, and it all came down to the last 2 turns. So expect some great action out there as the F2s run for the feature tonight.
Brown, because you must have known that Corbin Anderson has a bullet chassis under him, right? That's why you use that partner, am I right? Yeah,
okay. I'll stick with that one as well. No, he's what Corbin's doing out there is just making himself comfortable for when he gets back into the sprint car, because he's a guy that does double, sometimes even triple time here at Lucas Oil Western Sprint Speedway.
Yeah, and crazy little fact for some of the crew tuning in on the stream and maybe around the track that rumour has it that we may see Corbin Anderson in an A-grade midget later on in the year. So, yeah, we'll see him triple stacking and running the F2, the midget, and the sprint car. So watch this space, my friend.
All right, I'll leave you to it.
Thanks very much. So as we line up this strong field of 16 cars for the F2s, how good is that? High vis and helmets. That's all the supporters, the teams, the families, the dads down there on the side of the track watching and supporting their drivers out there as we get set to turn the F2 midgets loose for their 15-lap feature race here. It's going to be Leighton Kendall, my pick, and Corbin Anderson, Nick's pick off the front row. And then it's back to 2 of the drivers that have definitely been young highlight performers in the last season or 2. That's going to be Carlos Stone and Bo Padgett off the second row. F2 midget car feature, Leighton Kendall, Corbin Anderson off the front row. Who's going to get the jump? We're going to have to wait and see. You won't have to wait long. Leighton Kendall, sensational run, but Corbin Anderson sneaks in line astern for a lot of the drivers. They all choose to drop down to the pole line and playing it safe to get through minus turn number 1 and 2. Playing the long game, 15 laps the distance here. Kendall with a little bit of a push up the racetrack. It looks like Darryl Webster's drifting up right until that heavy racetrack up high, which is where the water was applied before this one. And gets a little bit out of shape, but who's not out of shape at the moment is Leighton Kendall. And Bruce James and Sam Committee. That was Nick Brown's wild card with Sam Committee. He got way up wide in that moisture and lost all kind of traction. So you still see how much moisture is right down in that pole line, down at minus turn number 1 and 2. So the drivers will want to keep their left front wheel out of that. And it's much the same down here at Penrite turn number 3 as well. Now the clearest part of the racetrack here on the pole line is exiting turn number 4. This battle on screen at the moment is the battle for 5th and 6th. It's Jones, it's James, it's the 82 versus the 17. Bruce experienced racer through various different forms of racing here in New Zealand. That Packers in BNT number 17. Our top three starting to spread their legs out on or spreading their distance between their fellow competitors. It's the 81 from the 69 from the 73. Layden Kendall doing a great job in that Terminator race cars machine out front from Corbin Anderson. And that Bullet Spike, F20 powered, number 69. Then it's big gap back to the 73 Carlos Stone. Then it's Bo Padgett and Adam Davis. This is your top five at this point in time. 8 laps to go for our leader, Layden Kendall. Still seems as though the biggest battle on track at the moment is this one on screen at the moment. It's a 5-car tussle, little gap. We've got Bo Padgett, Adam Davis, Jones, James, and Comedy in there. That's the tightest battle on track. And then my wild card chasing down Nick Brown's wild card. That's Matt Heim wanting to get on the back of this fast train as well. Laps counting down thick and fast. Still Layden Kendall leading this one here from Corbin Anderson. Drivers standing on the gas, moving up the racetrack in various different parts of the racetrack, trying to find the moisture. Down at turn number 1 and 2, running a little bit lower. Down at Penrite turn number 3 and 4. Just as we say that, Matt Heim now gets onto the back of this train now of Jones, Comedy, and James. And we've got a big one up and over on the on the straightaway coming out of turn number 2. And that's the number 21 machine. There was a big up and over there. As caution is out with only 6 laps left to run. So we've got a bit of fluid leaking from that car as well. No doubt the crash crew on scene. Super quick. Getting that car up and over, back onto its wheels. Great to see the driver moving around inside the car there. Ladies and gentlemen, give your round of applause for the number 21. Back on his wheels and moving in that race car. Unfortunately, the car in a bit of a state there, and it won't be able to take the restart of this one with only 6 laps left to run. The front suspension collapsed in the front of that car. We see a couple of the crash crew members there with suspension components, front springs of that car as we see a replay. So it's coming out of turn number 2. So no doubt the camera will pan a little bit further back to the right because the cars are coming through. Here we go. So the yellow car not on screen yet, not on screen yet, not on screen yet. We're going to be the tail end of this. So looking to the top of your screen, we've got Matt Heim and Jones on screen at the moment. Missed it there. So there's the yellow. We're going to get the tail end of it and we're going to pan to the left. There it is. Honestly. So trying to track down, potentially may have another view of this one here. There we go. So it was a little bit further back down the field because this battle was a little bit ahead. Go. So camera number 2 coming through with the goods here. Looking at that Dulux sign. Here we go. Hits the right rear. Wheels in the air. Clips the right rear of Darryl Webster. And unfortunately Ferguson just a passenger from there. It's big up and over. Obviously when the front wheels are off the ground there's no steering capabilities. And he was a passenger from there. So heavy contact with the Dulux sign. It's going to take more than a bit of polish and paint to get that race car back on track next week. So great to see the driver's A-OK, and he'll get off to the bunker and process what's happened, and great to see nonetheless that he's all intact, and Graham Standring down there as well getting his view on things as well. So the drivers all gridded up, back in position, ready to set them loose. Lights are still on at this point around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, so we're not going to be turning them loose just yet. And what are we going to see with only 6 laps left to run? It's once again Kendall and Anderson off the front. It's the same second row. It's still Carlos Stone. It's still Bo Padgett. Then we go back to the 3rd row. It's still Adam Davis, but we've got a new player in the mix. It's Bruce James. So What are we going to see? We're going to see some do-or-die moves in the last 6 laps. We're going to have to wait and see. Maybe it's this man on screen, Bruce James, chatting at the start of the night. He was ready to give this thing a red-hot go here tonight at the official opening night here at Luxor Western Springs Speedway. Lights are out. Layden Kendall, Corbin Anderson, 6 laps left to run in the F2 feature. Corbin Anderson, pedal to the metal, high side around Kendall. Can he make it stick? He closes the door, boxes Kendall in. Move Corbin Anderson through into the lead. Great move there from the number 69, Garrett Turbochargers all-tech machine. He's back on form here tonight at Luxor Western Springs Speedway. In unfinished business from Waikareca Park, where he finished second in the feature. Layden Kendall wasn't here for that night at Waikareca Park, so Layden Kendall coming out of the box, thick and fast, but it looks like Corbin Anderson has checked out. See you later. He's back into it. Carlos Stone running in third at the moment. Bruce James up into the fourth spot. So he's up ahead of Bo Padgett now as well. Adam Davis dropped back a spot, as has Cometti. Matt Heim is the last car on this train as well. But so far, it's only Corbin Anderson who's managed to stretch his legs and get away from Layden Kendall here tonight. He's an absolute class act in these F2 cars. We know that. We've seen what he's capable of. Corbin Anderson with only a couple of laps left to run. Now Layden Kendall with plenty of pressure being applied to the back of his Terminator chassis, number 81. Because Carlos Stone wants a piece of this. Darren Webster crouching along on the pole line around Penrite turn number 3 and 4. Trying to bring home points here in this feature race with only 1 lap left to go. Corbin Anderson gets around Penrite turn number 3 and 4. Layden Kendall holds off the battle from Carlos Stone, but the feature win goes to Corbin Anderson. Sensational drive here from this man on screen. Corbin Anderson takes home his first feature win of the Speedway season here at Luxor Western Springs Speedway. Layden Kendall with a hard-fought battle, only lost that lead with 6 laps left to run on that restart. Carlos Stone with a great drive in third. Bo Padgett fourth, Bruce James fifth, and Adam Davis rounds out your top 6. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the man in front of you, Corbin Anderson, your F2 feature winner.
Okay, down here with Corbin Anderson. Corbin, Layden Kendall looked like he had that stitched, and then I bet you had nothing left in the tank for him, and then the yellow comes. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're Corbin Anderson and really lucky. Tell us about it.
For sure. We definitely had our car set up for up high, and the water at the start really killed us, so that yellow came at the perfect time when the track was just drying out and we could just nail it around the outside.
You've sort of looked the class of the field all night, and I was surprised actually to see that when you're running second you were struggling. Did you make any changes in the car to improve it for the last part of the race?
No, we're pretty limited in the car, so I just had to run with what we had. I was really struggling down the bottom where it was pretty tight, and I just kept hitting the wrong spot, but as soon as it cleared up top, it was mint. So just massive thank you to the whole team for that. Heaps of thanks to Carl. He's the one who sets it all up, and it just drives itself. Big thanks to Dad as well. Mum, Scott, Connie's not here, Rudy, just everyone. Yeah.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Corbin Anderson, winner of the F2 Midget Car Feature, the Penrite Feature.
Thank you.